First of all, I have to ask the question whether this latest outbreak in Thailand amongst Myanmar's worker is a news interest in the people in Myanmar, in the society?
Yes, indeed. Is as far as I can tell, the Myanmar peoples across the countries are closely monitoring the news. Yes.
So how most people see or feel about this news, do you know?
Um, Generally, the migrant workers are, they have so many family inside Myanmar. So people worry for their family members because the latest outbreak center is where many migrants work, and also people got confused following the news that why all of the sudden they are being pointed fingers at the sources of outbreak,
Right.
as to the migrant community alone. So at the same time, because people are worried to those uh, to those migrants, the consequence or what would happen to them,
Right.
will there be any discrimination, any hate, speech against them, or any, that the consequences is, that what people are worries a lot.
So what is your own thought about this news, the information you have been hearing on the, I guess, from the Thai media, probably more than the Myanmar media itself?
Yeah, we follow the Thai news very closely. Yeah, but for both in Thai and in English, but more in English news. So based on the news that we heard about the Prime Minister comments about migrant workers and illegal migrants spreading, like implying that illegal migrant workers spreading or Myanmar migrant workers spreading this disease,
Right.
it doesn't look good, and is I think many of us feel like discrimination against. Why we should be dealing with the public health issues regardless of the situation, because as the other other the migrant organization and other key officials or Thai officials talking that there should be no prejudice or no discrimination against the Burmese migrant workers. And so I totally share the same views as some Thai people who are genuinely helping out the migrant communities and trying to reduce the negative narrative against the migrants. So I would like to say thank you to all these Thai people who are helping and who are having positive positive view towards migrant workers. I think as these workers, they've been as you said, they've been contributing a lot to the Thai economy.
Yes.
And also they are remittance to the countries is also contributing a lot to the Myanmar domestic economies, right? So in this Christmas period and holiday period, they be already trying to remit their money during their only one day of holiday on Sunday.
Right.
And then we heard from our friends in Bangkok and Samosakon, they've been treated how do you say, bad, and they've been discriminated and at the bank, and because you are Burmese migrant and we don't want to get near you. But these migrants who are using this financial service, they are actually legal one. They are living in the Thailand for months since the COVID lockdown. So these kind of how do you say, these kind of narratives that could look bad on the migrants community, it should not happen.
Right.
So how do Myanmar people perceive the media coverage about the outbreak in Thailand? Do they feel that it has stigmatized the migrants even more?
Well, when I talk to the people in the Talat, near the Talakung and Mahathai and other areas, uh, because they listen to the Thai news and they feel, you know, discriminated against. They feel, you know, marginalized because some like local news has been pointing them as like a sources of the virus or the, you know, these negative view. But they like say, no, we are not, we are staying here, and then this should not be, you know, that way. But in also, we are also really thankful to other, you know, some Thai media and English language media for, you know, paying attention to this issue and sharing information that we should know. So yeah, there are, you know, mixed feeling and about the new coverage, but we really thanks the coverage that you and others like media are having to cover and to you know, to improve the welfare, to improve everything, you know, the updating the situation about the COVID situation, especially in the migrant communities.
And apart from the media coverage, recently the spokesman of the committee dealing with COVID-19 in Thailand have also asked the Thai people's sympathy and understanding of the Myanmar workers here who have been affected by the pandemic. In your perspective, would this help reduce the stigma against migrant workers?
Well, we are hoping, but you know that what has been said is not easy to erase, because on Saturday, and the health minister has already told, you know, blame the migrants for the like a virus or super spreader, and then yesterday the prime minister also said again. So you know that they are powerful, right? So we think, you know, like, how do you say, correction of these, you know, that correction always goes slow.
Right.
All the time, all these disinformation or like information without concrete evidence go faster than the actual true news, right?
Yeah.
So but we are still hoping that Thai communities and Thai people will change their narrative and will, you know, get their you know, and put more understanding on the Burmese migrant and see them as a, you know, part of the communities, and that we have to fight together to the virus, because it is a global pandemic, and you know, all the world are having these problems, not alone, not only Myanmar or not only Thai people,
So,
right?
have you have a chance to talk to anyone in Thailand, migrant workers in Thailand, Myanmar worker in Thailand?
Yes, I do talk. Since the news outbreak, I do talk to number of people,
Right.
and you know that message, because it is the, you know, from the high political figure, is not only affecting the migrants in Bangkok or Samosakon communities, it's also affecting to the down south like Phang, you know, and other provinces in the whole countries.
Right.
You know, they've been telling me that, you know, they've been telling me that, you know, they also face such discriminations,
Right.
feeling discrimination, and not, you know, the one migrant told me this morning that, you know, yesterday I came back from work, and because he was in Mahathai, the hotspot of the area, so he said sometimes, you know, the people in the community trying to avoid them because
Right.
they saw the Burmese workers.
Right.
So that they feel, you know, stigmatized, they feel marginalized, and like, why do they do that? You know, they ask questions and they share these kind of stories to me.
Okay.
And can you explain a bit further about the living conditions that they have to face for the migrant workers here? Because some people still don't really understand how they actually live their lives, especially in the fishing province of Samut Sakhon.
Did they tell you anything about that?
Yeah, I've been to the Samut Sakhon and Mahathai area this August. So when I was reporting about early voting for the Myanmar general elections, so I saw their living conditions, and you know, they live in the not only in Mahathai, you know, everywhere that I've been there, in down south or in Thak, in Bangkok, they live in the pack, communities. Many many family members or a group of people stay in the small room together. So there is no, very difficult for the social distancing. For COVID prevention, you have to be 6 feet apart.
Right.
But what if you are staying for 3 or 4 people in one room? How could you do that? So that is the alarming, What if one of the migrants have a COVID, and they could spread their roommates could be, or their family member could be a primary contact to, and the primary risk. Also, I would like to add one of the migrant that I talked today from the Central Street markets in Mahathai. They said they cannot go out because of the lockdown.
Right.
And also they are even although they are thankful to the Thai communities for helping and other foundation for supporting food and everything, they are worried for their health concern because they said they have been tested over the weekend.
Right.
And then nobody replied then about whether they are negative or positive, and they don't know the result.
Okay.
So they that's confused them.
Right.
Where do we go? Whether we are negative or should we avoid, our family members,
Right.
things like that. That should be, information should be more transparent.
Right.
But I know that from the news coverage that Thai authorities and Thai officials are really good at doing, faster information and transparent. But with the huge number of migrants,
Right.
I think, their concern also is a legitimate concern.
Okay.
So, with the recent announcement by the Thai Prime Minister where he threatened to take action against human trafficking networks smuggling migrants into Thailand, on this issue, what about Myanmar authorities? How concerned are they about this issue, and how do they hope to cooperate with Thailand on this?
I don't know exactly the development of the current, agreement or the cooperation that the bilateral, authority might have been. But generally, as a people of Myanmar, people from Myanmar, I can say that we are very concerned about all those smuggling network or trafficking network, and because it is true that there are many illegal migrants in Thailand. And there has to be 2 or 3 ways to look at whether either they come illegally during this year, during the COVID lockdown, because as you know, the border has been sealed and the border has been officially closed, and only Myanmar government accepts the migrant returnees, and there is no one allowed in. Right. So maybe they should look at the policy, how to how to recruit the migrant workers, because Thailand economy need these workers. Yes. Because especially when I was in the hard time, people say, they need a lot of people because people go back, and they need a lot of people for the seafood industry to work. And so there is so many, people, there is a network, people trying to recruit more people, and they are waiting to get into Thailand. There is no official way to go there.
Right.
Maybe the government should, consider having more official channel open. Right. For the migrants, recruiting migrants only.
Right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Nyein.
Thank you so much.
And thank you very much for the information. And please stay safe.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.